Cowboy fans and YouTubers? It's that VA Dallas Cowboy fan coming back at you. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting down below. I make these videos for me and you, and they're a little therapeutic, you know. I got an email from a cousin of mine checking in on us and everything that's going on. Thank you, cuz. And I got another message on YouTube from my other cousin. What up, Lou? I'ma holler at you when all this stuff blows over. You know that, dog. I got some stuff to show you. Can't wait. But today I want to talk about the NFL has decided to do a virtual off-season program, training, if you will. I don't know what it entails yet, but I know reports last month when this stuff was starting to first come about was that it was something like Peloton, where they have the workout and you have the virtual coach, and you can talk and interact through that. And another one was doing Peloton type deal, plus having like a like the equipment they attach to players during games to monitor their heart and respiratory, cardio, and stuff like that. I think they said they were thinking about some kind of device to do all those measurables, but you know, the cost and everything of getting them made and sending it out to every single player is going to be a pain. So I think more than likely, as far as training goes, everybody's on their own still to stay fit and in football shape. As far as in-house learning, they're probably going to get some lessons on the tablet like any school kid right now, and we'd be able to virtually talk to coaches if they have to, stuff like that. I'm sure they'll figure out a way. A lot of teams, if it's the same kind of system that they've been in, it's not going to be too much difference, so that's an advantage. Cowboys don't have that advantage because we'll be learning a lot on the fly. So I'm back to my prediction of hitting the NFC Championship at least in about 2 years or less, because this year is almost a complete wash, unfortunately. They're not going to get to really install an offense or defense like they really want. And the main headlines of it that everybody wants to talk about is the fact that without his free agency tender or his franchise tag, Dak is not going to be joining the offseason program in any fashion. So, be it physical or virtual, he was just not going to do it. So, that's going to push us back even farther as far as getting a deal done, having our top quarterback learn anything, new wrinkles in the offense, because he is basically going to be doing his own thing. I don't know if that's going to help or hinder or make any kind of difference this offseason, because everybody's a little handicapped, you know. So we'll just have to see how that plays out. You kind of saw this coming because the Cowboys just don't seem to give a crap about paying him right now. And it brings up the fun fact that we've seen exactly why a lot of people say that maybe the office doesn't trust Dak, when the same thing that we Cowboys fans have argued, that people say Dak's not a top-tier quarterback, he doesn't deserve the money and all that. Okay, we get it, but a prime example of what we argue about is what happened yesterday. Do you think Christian McCaffrey is worth all that money? Since everybody keeps claiming you could grab any running back any round and put them behind any line and they can run just as much, which is a bold-faced lie statistically. Some players just break down or they're just not good, but you just can't throw any running back in any situation and think he's that great. Look at what happened to Connors in Pittsburgh. He was a hype for one time and then he fell off. Look at I think the boy in Denver. I don't think you're even going to know who the guy is in San Francisco next season because nobody will talk about him. But players like Zeke, where he's still the featured back, he was worth the money at the time. I saw an article where they did 14 running backs in recent history that have all gotten paid, and their production just didn't last after they got paid. But you got to think, what were they doing before? A lot of those players were ran into the freaking ground before they got that second deal. So, of course, when they get the second deal and a year later they're no good, it's because you giving them 300, 350, 400 carries a year and receiving. So don't act like they're going to last that long when you're running these guys into the ground and then throwing them away like they're indispensable. So who's the onus of this problem? Is it on the players or is it on the coaching staff that wants to run them to death and then act like they're tissue and just throw them away? I mean, if that was the case, you can find a quarterback doing the same thing. You can find a wide receiver. You can find any position on the football team. If you use them and you're out here throwing the ball 50 fucking times a game and you're making 300, 400, 500 yards a game, but you're still losing, does it matter? No. You just wore the person down, and then he's no good to you. Look how long one of those who likes to hate the Cowboys, David Carr or Derek Carr? The older brother. One of them. D. Carr. Let him, Roethlisberger now, Deshaun Watson, if he didn't get help, these guys are getting beaten into the ground, pulverized. Cam Newton, they're getting just beat down. And y'all say, well, they're a special quarterback. Really? Because y'all don't seem to treat them like they're a special quarterback when you're letting your offensive line lax and they're getting creamed every other play. Andrew Luck, he retired partly because of his injuries. So don't just deem a running back indispensable, somebody you could just throw away because you run them into the ground if you're not going to do the same for every position. You may pay the quarterbacks big money, but you sure don't act like they're worth it sometimes for some of these guys. And it just makes me mad, you know. Nobody's arguing about Christian McCaffrey getting his money when you had a whole season of getting pissed off at Zeke for wanting to be paid. What's the difference? We already know, one, that we're trying not to go there. Two, are you basing it on skill or, you know, what he could bring to the table? Zeke could do the same thing, but look at the coaching staff. I mean, somebody's actually statistically saying that Zeke broke down last year, but look at who's running the team. Jason Garrett was too busy just, man, we've ran the same play since 2010 and we're behind 20 points. I guess we'll just abandon the run and have our quarterback throw 40 times. Hey, really? But then if we lose, it's all on Dak, right? Because we fell so far behind. Not the defense coughing up points, but Dak playing on defense apparently is coughing up points. And then Dak can't get us back in a game because he's throwing and catching. Oh, and handing the ball off to himself. So that's my whole thing right there. It was next man up. You had Gurley get his money. You've had Johnson back in the day get his money. Bell got his money. Zeke was in line to get his money, next man up. Everybody likes to devalue the running back, but when you do have those once-in-a-generational backs that y'all keep claiming these guys are when they come out and we pick them, everybody says, oh, you don't pick a running back so high. Well, you're paying them like you do. When you got a 4th, 5th, 6th round running back, y'all say, oh, man, he came out of nowhere. He's sensational. And 1 year later, he's crap. So do you pay him? Or do you just flush him out and get another one? I mean, that's not a position you want to play if that's what you're going to keep doing. But next man up. So Dak, he's the next man up. He should get paid. It shouldn't be about statistics. It's not wins or losses. It's about, hey, you're a quarterback. You're either a franchise or non-franchise quarterback. Who cares? You're the guy that's running the team for the last 4 or 5 years. They haven't turned the ball to anybody else. They're not going to turn the ball to anybody else. You're deserving of the money that's coming your way. If you're not, they'd have replaced you. But it doesn't seem to matter what goes on behind some organizations, because you've seen Garoppolo get paid off of 7 career games. You've seen Ryan Tannehill get booted out of Miami, go to have a couple good games in Tennessee, and he gets paid. Jared Goff, who was horrible for Jeff Fisher, has one great season with Sean McVay, gets paid, and now he's a flop again. He's gone back to earth. Carson Wentz, who got paid, and he hasn't even made it past, 4 plays in a playoff game? But y'all paid him like he's a franchise quarterback. So, before we sit up here and merit who and who isn't worth the money, it's just next man up. It doesn't matter what you do. Because apparently that's the thinking in the NFL. Because if you lead a team to a Super Bowl and lose or win, does that automatically make you the next highest paid quarterback? Should it? If the 49ers have won the Super Bowl, would they have gave the MVP to that running back and made him the highest paid running back? Probably not. You're not even thinking that way. Great example, what happened to Russell Wilson and Beast Mode. Because Marshawn Lynch should have been Super Bowl champion 2 times and the MVP, but egos got in the way and said, no, we don't want the guy who doesn't talk to the media or refuses to do media sessions. We want the guy that everybody loves. So we're going to try and throw it in there, even though you had a yard and the best freaking running back at the time right there, who was actually wide open in the flat, just running there looking stupid like, why aren't you throwing me the ball? So that goes back to coaching decisions, making somebody look bad. But, you know, that's where we're going nowadays. Next man up. Next week is the draft. Hopefully it goes without a hitch, but if it does, something happen, it'll be hilarious. We'll all be watching. Yeah, that's about it. Hopefully we do get to have some semblance of normalcy starting next month. That would be nice. But, you know, they always say it's worse before it gets better. So we'll have to see if we come back down the curve or if we're still going to be stuck in this perpetual hamster wheel like we've been doing for a little while longer. Hope y'all have a good day. I had a great day yesterday with my family. Oh, man. You just don't know. That's the reason why I didn't do a live stream, is because I got into doing stuff with them. And it just took up my time from the time that, if you watch the video, I was going out to get what I needed for the family to, I think about 4 o'clock this morning, something like that. I was just all family, all having fun, doing what I want to do on my day off. But now I'm back to normalcy, back to work, back to making videos and content for you guys. If you have anything you want to talk to me about, you have my email, my Facebook and Twitter handles on the About page and the descriptions for my videos, and you can reach out to me. Till then, if anything else happens, we'll get it to you. If nothing happens, we'll still come back and talk to you. Enjoy yourselves. Stay safe. Stay hygienic. Take care of your families. Take care of yourselves. The more we keep ourselves quarantined, if we have to, the better. Because we're helping curb this spread of this virus. And the faster it's over with, the faster we can get back to normal, right? Because we don't want to waste our whole summer being indoors. Because I know a lot of y'all was waiting for this warm weather to come back just to start enjoying yourselves again. And if you have to shut down the happiest place on earth, Disney World, you know it's bad. So, there you go. All right, y'all take care. Peace.